My child, stop everything for a moment, because this word did not reach you by accident. You were led here. Something in your spirit was drawn toward these words at this exact hour, because there is something I need you to hear, and I did not want another day to pass with you believing the lie you have been carrying. So set down whatever is in your hands. Quiet the noise around you, and let me speak to the tender, tired place in you that almost no one else has been allowed to see. Stay with me all the way to the end, because by the time these words are finished, I want something that has been bent low in you to stand up straight again. I know you have been carrying something heavy lately. I have seen it, even when you hid it well from everyone around you. I know there have been moments you wondered if I still see you, if your prayers are actually reaching me, if the thing you have believed for so long is ever really going to come. I know there have been nights when the silence felt so loud it hurt, when the waiting felt like a weight on your chest, when you lay in the dark and wondered whether you had been forgotten. My child, hear me, because this is the first thing I came to say. The silence you have been living in is not the silence of abandonment. It is the silence of preparation. I have not been absent. I have been at work on your behalf in 100 ways your eyes cannot yet see. If your spirit is stirring even a little as you hear that, somewhere in the comments type "I am ready," and let that be your quiet declaration that you are open to what I am about to speak over you. Let me tell you what silence has always meant with me, because the world has taught you to fear it. When my servant Elijah had done a great and public thing and then collapsed under exhaustion and despair, I did not come to him in the wind, or the earthquake, or the fire. I came in a low whisper, in the quiet after the noise had passed. When I anointed a shepherd boy to be a king, I did not put him on the throne the next morning. I sent him back to the sheep, and then into caves, into years of hiding, into a long silence where the promise seemed to move further away instead of closer. The silence was not me forgetting him. It was me forming him, and that is what this stretch of quiet has been for you, my child. Not punishment, not absence, formation. And when that same Elijah, worn down and alone, told me that he was the only faithful one left, that everyone had turned and he stood by himself, I gently corrected him. I told him that I had reserved thousands he did not know about, faithful ones scattered where he could not see them. He felt utterly alone in his stand, and he was not, because his feelings were reporting the loneliness accurately but not the truth. Hear that for yourself, my child. The isolation you have felt is real to your feelings, but it is not the whole truth of your situation. You are not as alone as the enemy has told you. I have reserved others walking the same narrow road, and more than that, I myself have never once left your side, not in the loudest storm and not in the deepest quiet. So do not let the loneliness lie to you about how forsaken you are. You are surrounded, my child, by a faithfulness you cannot yet see, and one day I will show you just how near I was the whole time. And do not believe the lie that the delay means I have changed my mind about you. My word says that I know the plans I have for you, plans for peace and not for harm, to give you a future and a hope. Notice that I said I know them, not that I am still deciding, not that your setbacks forced me back to the drawing board. I already know the whole of it, every chapter, including the ending. And the ending I have written for you is not defeat. It is a future and a hope. The jealousy of others did not rewrite my plan. Your own stumbles did not cancel it. The years that felt lost did not erase it. My plan for you has been intact this entire time, held safe in hands that nothing can pry open. So lift your eyes off the tangled middle you are standing in, and trust the one who has already seen the good end from before the beginning. I have been building something into you in the hidden years that could never have been built in the spotlight. If you can begin to believe that, type "The silence was preparation, not abandonment," and let the fear of my silence lose its grip on you. You are standing at the threshold of one of the most significant seasons of your life, and you do not fully see it yet. Everything you have walked through, every trial, every setback, every moment of doubt and confusion, none of it was wasted. I do not waste pain, my child. I do not permit suffering with no purpose behind it. Every hard thing you survived was quietly building something in you, a strength, a depth, a compassion, a steadiness that the season ahead is going to require. The enemy of your soul has worked overtime to keep you distracted and discouraged and doubting, And there is a reason for that intensity. He is not afraid of a person going nowhere. He fights hardest against the ones he can see are about to break through. His great fear is that you will finally step into the fullness of who I made you to be, and that, my child, is exactly what I am bringing you into. Now let me speak to something that has wounded you more than you have admitted, because I have watched it happen. Some of the people around you have changed toward you. There has been a coldness where there used to be warmth. There has been distance or criticism, or a quiet resentment aimed at you that you did not earn and could not understand. You have felt the sting of it, the sense that people are not celebrating you, that some are even glad when you struggle. And it has confused you because you never tried to make yourself their rival. My child, I am not going to pretend that does not hurt, because it does. But I need to show you what is actually happening, and I need to do it carefully, because there is a wrong way to hear this and a right way. Here is the wrong way, and I will not let you walk into it. The wrong way is to let this make you bitter, to start seeing enemies behind every face, to grow proud and tell yourself that everyone around you is simply jealous because you are better than them. That road leads to a hard, suspicious, lonely heart. And it is not the road I am putting you on, so hear the right way. When I begin to lift a life, it creates friction. The same way any rising thing meets resistance. Sometimes the resistance takes the shape of another person's jealousy. And jealousy is not really about you at all. It is about a wound in them, a fear in them, an ache they have not brought to me. So the coldness you have felt is often less a verdict on you and more a symptom of something unhealed in them. That truth is meant to do two things in you at once. It is meant to lift the false weight of thinking you did something wrong, and it is meant to fill you with compassion instead of contempt for the very ones who have been cold. If you can hold both of those together, type "I receive who you say I am," and let it dismantle the lie that their coldness defines your worth. And if you think that being envied means something is wrong with you, then look at my own son. When they handed him over to be condemned, the governor who questioned him could see plainly what was really happening. My word records that he knew they had handed Jesus over out of envy, not because of any wrong he had done, for there was none out of envy. The purest life that ever walked the earth drew the fiercest jealousy, precisely because the light in him exposed the darkness in them. He told his followers plainly that the world had hated him without a cause, and that if it hated him, they should not be shocked when it turned on them too. So do not let the coldness of others convince you that you must have earned it. Sometimes the cleaner your heart becomes, the more it unsettles the ones who have made peace with their own compromise. You are in the best of company, my child. The ones the world could not understand, the ones it envied and rejected, are very often the ones I had marked for something the world could not see. Being misunderstood is not proof that you are wrong. Sometimes it is the shadow that falls across a life that is standing in my light. Hear this promise over every scheme and every sharp word that has been aimed at you. My word declares that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and that every tongue that rises against you in judgment you will show to be in the wrong. Read it carefully, my child, because I chose those words with precision. I did not promise that no weapon would ever be formed. Weapons will be formed, words will be spoken, plans will be made in rooms you are not in. What I promised is that they will not prosper. They will not accomplish what they were made to accomplish. They will not have the final say over your life. I let the weapon be formed, and then I strip it of its power, so that you learn not to fear the forming of it, because you have watched me again and again refuse to let it prosper. So when you hear that someone has spoken against you, do not spend your strength trying to answer every tongue. Bring it to me, and let me be the one who clears your name in due time, for I defend my children better than they could ever defend themselves. Think about Joseph, my child, because his story is your story wearing older clothes. He was loved by his father and given a dream, and his own brothers hated him for it. Their jealousy was so fierce that they threw him into a pit and then sold him into slavery and told his father he was dead. Think of the betrayal in that. Not strangers, but his own blood. And it did not end there. He was falsely accused by a woman whose advances he refused, and thrown into a prison for a crime he did not commit, and forgotten there by a man he had helped for years. From the outside, his life looked like a series of injustices with no rescue coming. But I was in every single one of those moments, my child. I was in the pit. I was in the slave caravan. I was in the prison cell. I was using the very jealousy that was meant to destroy him to position him, step by hidden step, for a palace and a purpose that would one day save nations, including the lives of the brothers who betrayed him. What they meant for evil, I meant for good. And I am writing that same sentence over your life right now. And Joseph is not the only one, my child. Think of Daniel, a man so excellent in spirit that the ones around him could not stand it. They were not merely indifferent to him. They studied his life looking for a flaw to use against him, and when they could find none, they built a trap out of the very thing that made him faithful, his prayer, and they had him thrown to the lions for it. Pure jealousy dressed up as law. But hear what I did in that den, my child. I shut the mouths of the lions. I let him lie down among the very things that were meant to devour him. And in the morning he walked out without a scratch, while the whole kingdom watched. The ones who plotted against him did not stop me. They only gave me a larger stage to show my faithfulness on. That is what the schemes against you have been doing all along. They think they are digging your grave, and they are only building the platform from which I will vindicate you. You do not have to defend yourself against every plot. You only have to keep praying by your open window, faithful and unbothered, and let me shut the mouths that were opened against you. Think of Esther as well, and of a man named Mordecai, who would not bow to a proud official's ego. That official, consumed with jealousy and offense, built a gallows and schemed to destroy not only Mordecai but his entire people. For a while it looked as though the wicked plan would succeed, but I was working in the unseen places, my child, arranging a sleepless night for a king, a remembered kindness, a queen placed in the palace for such a time as that. And in the end, the very gallows the proud man built for the one he envied became the place of his own downfall, and the one he tried to bury was raised to honor. I did not ask Mordecai to lift a hand in revenge. I turned the scheme back on its own head while he simply stayed faithful. So when you feel the weight of someone building something against you in secret, remember that I see every gallows before it is finished, and I know how to turn a trap into a throne. If a word like this is reaching a place in you that nothing else has reached, then do not walk away from this voice. Stay close for the road ahead. Follow along, not so a number climbs somewhere, but so that the next thing I have to say to your spirit does not slip past you while you are looking the other way. There is a sequence to what I am speaking over you in this season, and I do not want you to miss the next part of it. Stay with me, my child. I am not finished. Now let me pull you out of a trap that has been draining you for years, the trap of comparison. You have looked at other people's lives, their apparent success, their answered prayers, their breakthroughs that seem to come so easily, and you have quietly asked me whether I play favorites. You have wondered why your road has been so much harder and so much longer than theirs. My child, I need you to understand something that will set you free if you let it. Your journey was never supposed to look like anyone else's. I did not make you to be a second copy of another person. I made you an original with an assignment no one else on this earth can carry. A purpose shaped for you alone. Your timeline is not late. It is deliberate. Your path is not wrong. It is uniquely yours, and the very things that have made your road look strange, the detours, the delays, the seasons that made no sense, those are the exact things that are going to make your testimony impossible to explain away. When your story finally unfolds, people will not be able to say you were simply lucky, or connected, or born into it. They will only be able to say that I did it. If you can lay down the measuring stick you have been beating yourself with, type "My story does not have to look like theirs," and let comparison lose its voice. There was a woman named Hannah who knew the particular pain of being provoked by someone who had what she longed for. Year after year, a rival in her own home taunted her over the very thing that was missing in her life, until she wept so bitterly she could not eat. She did not answer the provocation with revenge, and she did not let the comparison harden her. She took her ache to me, poured it out so rawly that others mistook her prayer for the ramblings of a broken mind, and she trusted me with what she could not force. And in my time I answered her, and I did not answer small. I gave her not only the child she asked for, but a son who would become one of the greatest prophets her people ever knew. Hear the pattern, my child. The one who was mocked for what she lacked became the mother of what her nation needed most. So when someone flaunts what you are still waiting for, do not let it turn you bitter, and do not let it turn you into a copy of them. Take the ache to me the way Hannah did, and trust that when I answer a long-provoked longing, I often answer it with far more than the thing itself. And do not forget what I did through a shepherd whose own family did not think to call him in from the fields when the prophet came looking for a king. When they lined up the impressive sons, the tall ones, the ones who looked the part, I passed over every one of them, because people look at the outward appearance, but I look at the heart. The one the household overlooked was the one I had chosen. My word says that I raise the poor from the dust, and lift the needy from the ash heap, to seat them among princes. That is my way, my child. I delight to take the one the world discounted, and set them in a place no one saw coming. Not so they can look down on the ones who overlook them, but so that every watching eye will know that the lifting was my doing, and not their striving. You may feel like the sun left out in the field right now, but I know exactly where you are. And I have never once chosen the way the world chooses. And my child, as this begins to settle into you, let me widen your heart toward someone else, because comfort like this was never meant to stop with you. A face may already be rising in your mind, someone you know who feels overlooked, who is drowning in the same comparison, who is sure their story will never turn. If it is truly on your heart, and only if it is, you can sow a seed into this work in their name, so that a word like this one can keep reaching the ones who feel forgotten in their own silence. This is an act of faith, my child, never a transaction. For I do not sell what I freely give, and your worth to me was never measured by anything in your hand. And if this season is thin for you, then keep what you have, and give only this. Whisper a prayer, right now, for the one you are thinking of, and for the next weary soul who will hear these words after you. That prayer is a true seed, and I receive it just the same. You may visit the link in the description below, or scan the code on your screen, but only from a full and willing heart, and never from pressure. Let me tell you about the gift hidden inside your struggle, because I know your struggle has felt like a curse. There have been moments you wondered why your life has been so hard, why the challenges never seem to end, why breakthrough looks so much easier for everyone else. But here is a truth the enemy has worked hard to hide from you. Your struggle is not evidence of my absence. It is evidence of your significance. Consider how a diamond is formed. It begins as the same plain carbon as ordinary coal. The only difference between the two is what they endured. The diamond became a diamond because it was subjected to enormous pressure and heat, over a long time, deep in the dark where no one could see. That is what has been happening to you, my child. In the pressure you thought was crushing you, I have been making a diamond. The trials did not weaken you, they strengthened you. The seasons of darkness you survived did not diminish you. They were forming a brilliance in you that only pressure could produce. If you can see your pressure with new eyes, type "the pressure is making me a diamond," and let your struggle be reframed forever. My servant Job understood this even in the middle of losing nearly everything, when his own friends assumed his suffering must be proof of some hidden sin. In his darkest hour he said something I want you to say over yourself. He said that when I had tested him, he would come forth as gold. He did not fully understand why the fire had come, and I did not owe him an explanation in the moment. But he knew this much, that the fire was not the end of him. It was the refining of him. Gold does not become pure in comfort. It is placed in the furnace not to be destroyed, but so that everything that is not gold rises to the surface and can be lifted away. And the refiner does not walk off and leave the gold in the fire. He sits beside it, watching, and he knows it is finished at the exact moment he can see his own reflection in it. That is what I have been doing in your long trial, my child. I am not punishing you, and I am not distracted. I am sitting beside the fire, watching, waiting for the moment I can see my own likeness formed in you. And when I can, the fire ends, and not 1 second sooner or later than it must. You are not being consumed, you are being purified. And what comes out the other side of this will carry a value that comfort could never have produced. Let me speak to the one who has felt unloved as well as unseen, because sometimes the coldness comes from the very ones who were supposed to love you most. Think of Leah, a woman who lived in the shadow of a more favored sister, who was married to a man whose heart was turned toward someone else. who ached her whole life to be truly loved and chosen. The world overlooked her. Her own household overlooked her. But my word says that I saw that she was unloved, and I drew near to her in her ache, and I opened her life in a way I did not open her sister's. And it was through her line, the overlooked one, the unloved one, that in the fullness of time I brought forth the Savior of the world. So do not think that being overlooked by people means being overlooked by me. I have a long habit of drawing near to exactly the ones the world walks past, and building my greatest purposes through the lives that were counted least. I see you the way I saw her, my child. The love you have ached for, you already have in full from me, and I am not in the habit of letting my overlooked ones stay overlooked forever. Now I must go back to the wound of the jealousy, because I do not want to leave you halfway. I told you not to grow bitter, and now I want to show you the way I actually want you to walk, because it is the way that will keep your heart free. Look again at David, the shepherd king I told you about. When he was young and rising, a jealous king named Saul turned on him, hunted him, threw spears at him, chased him through the wilderness for years. All because he could not bear the favor that was on David's life. And yet, when David had the chance, more than once, to end Saul with his own hand, he would not do it. He refused to take his own revenge. He left the matter with me. He said it was not his place to repay evil, and he kept his own heart clean even while another man tried to destroy him. That is the road I am asking you to walk, my child. Not revenge, not keeping a ledger of who wronged you, waiting for the day you get to watch them fall. My word says that vengeance is mine, that I will repay, which means you do not have to carry it. You are free to forgive. You are free to bless the ones who came against you, not because what they did was right, but because carrying the poison of unforgiveness would only chain you to them. Let them go. Hand them to me. I will deal justly with every heart, and I will do it far better than your bitterness ever could. If you are willing to walk that free road, type I forgive the ones who turned on me, and feel the weight of it lift off your own back. Let me teach you what forgiveness is and what it is not, because the enemy has twisted it to keep you in chains. Forgiveness is not saying that what they did was acceptable. It is not pretending you were not wounded, or forcing yourself back into a place where you keep being harmed. It is not weakness, and it is not you losing. Forgiveness is you deciding that you will no longer drink the poison and wait for the other person to die. It is you handing the debt they owe you over to me, the only judge who can settle it rightly, and refusing to let their offense keep renting space in your heart. My word tells you not to repay anyone evil for evil, but to leave room for my justice, because vengeance is mine and I will repay. It even says that when you refuse revenge and instead show kindness to the one who wronged you, it is like heaping coals of fire on their head, which is my way of saying that nothing exposes and softens a hard heart like being met with a mercy it did not deserve. So do not waste your years plotting how they will finally get what is coming to them. Bless them, release them, and walk on. Your freedom is worth far more than your revenge, and I have never once failed to deal justly with every heart in the end. And let me settle the deepest fear underneath the forgiveness. The fear that if you do not defend yourself, no one will, and the wrong done to you will simply stand forever. My child, at the sea, when my people were trapped with an army closing in behind them, I told them through my servant to stand still and see my salvation, for I would fight for them, and they needed only to be still. Hear that. There are battles I am asking you to step out of, not because you do not matter, but because they are mine to fight, and I fight them far better than you can. When you take the battle into your own hands, you tie my hands because I will not compete with your striving. But when you step back and entrust it to me, you free me to move on your behalf in ways you could never arrange. So be still, my child, in the fight that has exhausted you. Let me be the one who contends with those who contend with you. Your stillness is not surrender. It is the highest form of trust, and it is where you will finally see me move. Even Moses, the one I spoke with face to face, was not spared this. His own brother and sister, the ones closest to him, grew jealous of the calling on his life and spoke against him behind his back. And Moses did not rise up to defend himself. My word says he was the humblest man on the earth, and he stayed silent, and let me be his defender. So I came down and defended him myself, in front of the very ones who had spoken against him, and I made clear that the one they had criticized was the one I had chosen to trust with my whole house. Notice, my child, that Moses did not have to win that argument. He only had to stay humble and let me handle it, and I defended him more powerfully than he ever could have defended himself. This is the road I keep showing you, because it is the only road that keeps your heart free. Stay low, stay kind, do not answer every accusation, and let me be the one who stands up in the room and says, "This is my chosen one, and I will not have them spoken against." When I defend a life, no further defense is needed. And hear what I did with the very stone that the builders looked at and threw aside as useless. My word says that the stone the builders rejected became the cornerstone, the most important stone in the whole structure, and that this was my doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Think of what that means for you, my child. The builders, the ones who were supposed to know value, examined that stone and decided it did not belong, that it was not good enough, that it had no place in what they were building. And I took that very rejected stone and made it the one that everything else would rest upon. The rejection did not disqualify it. The rejection was the strange doorway to its exaltation. So when you have been looked over, passed by, judged as not enough by the very people who should have seen your worth, do not accept their verdict as final. They are not the final builder I am, and I have a long history of taking exactly the stone that was thrown away and setting it in the place of greatest honor, so that the ones who rejected it have to watch the whole building rest on what they discarded. Do not miss what I am doing, even in the way it feels right now. My word says that all things work together for good for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Not that all things are good, for the betrayal was not good, and the jealousy was not good, and the cold years were not good in themselves, but that I work them together, weaving the broken pieces you would have thrown away into a whole that could not have existed without them. The very jealousy that came against you, the very rejection that wounded you, the very delay that tested you, I am weaving all of it into a testimony so complete that one day you will not be able to imagine your story without the chapters that hurt the most. Nothing is wasted in my hands, my child. Not one tear, not one betrayal, not one lonely year. I am the God who makes even the opposition serve the outcome. Hear this next part clearly, because it will change why you fight. The breakthrough I am bringing you is not only for you, it is for everyone I have assigned to your life. It is for the people waiting on the other side of your obedience. It is for the lives that will be changed by your testimony. It is for the family members and the strangers and the generations who will be blessed because you chose to keep going when everything in you wanted to quit. You are not only fighting for yourself, my child, you are fighting for people who do not even know your name yet, whose whole lives will shift because you did not give up. This is the real reason the enemy has fought you so hard. He knows that when you break through, it will not be a single life that changes. It will be a ripple that touches hundreds, and through them thousands. Your rising is not a selfish thing. It is a doorway for others. If you can carry that, type "My breakthrough is for others too," and let it give your endurance a bigger reason. So let me tell you how to carry the mistreatment while you wait for the vindication, because my son gave you words for exactly this. He said that when you are insulted and rejected and lied about because of your walk with me, you are not to sink under it, but to rejoice and even leap for joy, because your reward in heaven is great, and because that is exactly how they treated the prophets who came before you. Hear what he was telling you, my child. The mistreatment does not put you outside the line of the faithful. It puts you inside it. It places you in the same company as every righteous life that was ever envied and opposed for shining too brightly. I am not asking you to enjoy the wound. I am inviting you to lift your eyes above it, to a reward that is being stored up where no jealous hand can touch it. A reward that grows larger with every unkindness you endure without letting it turn you bitter. Nothing you suffer for walking with me is unseen, and nothing is unpaid. I keep a perfect record of every injustice done to my children, and I am both a just judge and a generous rewarder. What is being taken from you unfairly now, I will more than restore. And when the day of your rising comes, my child, and it is coming, I want your heart to be so free of bitterness that you can do what Joseph did when he finally stood before the brothers who had betrayed him. He wept, and he drew them close, and he told them not to be afraid, and he provided for them out of the very position their betrayal had unknowingly placed him in. He had every earthly right to revenge, and he chose mercy, because he had already made his peace with me in the pit and the prison, long before he reached the palace. That is what I am forming in you through this long season. Not just a breakthrough, but a heart big enough to hold the breakthrough without becoming proud or vengeful. I am not only preparing the promotion for you, I am preparing you for the promotion, so that when the elevation comes, it makes you kinder and not crueler, humbler and not harder, more merciful to the very ones who once came against you. That is the mark of a life I have truly refined. If this word has found you, my child, then it can find the one who is still sitting in their own silence, still sure they were forgotten, still measuring themselves against everyone else. Send it to them, not out of obligation, but on purpose, because the face that came to your mind was not random. They need what you just received, and you may be the one meant to carry it to them. Do not keep for yourself what was always meant to travel. So let me speak to who you actually are, underneath everything the enemy has told you. You are not overlooked. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And you were chosen not because your life finally looked impressive, but from before you drew your first breath, when there was nothing you had done to earn it and nothing you could do to lose it. I placed a seal on you that no force in this world can break. It has carried you through every storm. It has kept you when the enemy tried to end you, and it is still there right now, holding you, marking you as mine. If you can receive that over the accusing voice that has told you otherwise, type "I am chosen, not forgotten," and let it be truer to you than anything you feel. Let me name that accusing voice for what it is, so it stops disguising itself as your own thoughts. My word calls the enemy the accuser, the one who stands and accuses my children day and night. That heavy inner voice that tells you that you are behind, that you are unloved, that you are not enough, that everyone is against you and always will be. That is not my voice, my child, and it is not simply your own tired mind. Much of it is the accuser, working to keep you crushed and small and afraid to rise. And I want you to learn to tell the difference, because my voice and his voice pull in opposite directions. His accusation condemns you and leaves you hopeless and paralyzed. My conviction, when I correct you, always comes wrapped in hope and a way forward, because I correct the ones I love the way a good father does, to lift them, never to bury them. So when the voice that speaks to you leaves you feeling worthless and doomed, do not accept it as the truth about you. It is the accuser, and he is a liar from the beginning. Answer him the way my word teaches, not with your own strength, but with what I have said. For every accusation he brings is overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. And here is the testimony I want rising in your mouth. What I have started in you, I do not abandon. My word promises that the one who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. Read the confidence in that, my child. I am not a builder who lays a foundation and wanders off, leaving a half-finished thing exposed to the weather. When I begin a work in a life, I finish it. So the unfinished feeling you carry, the sense that you are still in progress, still incomplete, still not who you are meant to be, is not a sign that I have given up. It is proof that I am still working, and my works are never left half done. I will carry it through. I will complete what I started in you, and I will complete it well, no matter how many seasons it takes, and no matter how much opposition rises against it. The finishing does not depend on your strength. It depends on my faithfulness, and my faithfulness has never once failed to finish what it began. Now I need you to make a decision, my child, and I need you to make it now, not tomorrow, not when things improve, not when you finally feel ready. Decide right now that you will stop letting the enemy use your past against you. Decide that you will stop measuring your worth by what other people think of you, or by how coldly some of them have treated you. Decide that you will no longer let the fear of failing keep you frozen in place. I did not carry you this far to abandon you at the edge of the very thing I promised. And hear what I did for Job at the very end of his long ordeal, after the loss and the false accusations and the friends who misjudged him. My word says that I restored his fortunes, and that I gave him twice as much as he had before, and that his latter days were more blessed than his beginning. His latter was greater than his former, my child. That is not just a line of history, it is a pattern of how I love to work. I do not merely bring my children back to where they were before the trouble. I bring them further than they ever were, so that the restoration overtakes the loss and the ending outshines the beginning. So do not measure your future by the size of what you have lost. The years the locusts ate, I know how to restore. The seasons that were stolen, I know how to repay. And when I finish writing your story, the latter chapters will be so much greater than the former ones that the pain of the early pages will be swallowed up in the glory of the last. Your best days are not behind you in some season you are mourning. Your latter will be greater than your former, because that is simply how I finish the stories of the ones who kept trusting me. Let me leave you with the promise of how your vindication will actually come. My word says that I will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and the justice of your cause as the noonday sun. Picture that. My child, not a defense you have to shout, not a case you have to argue in every room, but your vindication rising the way the morning rises, quietly, certainly, unstoppably, until it stands over your life as plain as the sun at noon that no one can deny or ignore. You do not have to force the dawn. You only have to wait for it, living faithfully in the dark, and it comes on its own. Right on time, the ones who misunderstood you will see it. The ones who doubted you will see it, and more importantly, you will finally see it, and you will know that the long wait in the shadows was never me forgetting you. It was me preparing a vindication so bright that no jealous word could survive it. So hold on, my child, your noonday is coming, and it is nearer than you think. I did not invest all of this into your preparation only to leave you short of the finish line. I am not finished with you, and it is time you stopped being finished with yourself. The promise I made you still stands. The calling has not expired. The destiny I designed for you has not been handed to someone else. It is still yours. It was always yours. And the season for you to step into it is beginning now. And now, from the heart of this ministry, to the one still listening, hear one last word. If this message met you today, if it reached a place nothing else has reached, and you feel moved to help it find the next chosen one still sitting alone in the dark, you are welcome to sow a seed into this work. Think of the one whose face stayed with you through these words, and give in the honesty of your own heart, as a declaration of your faith, and never as a transaction, for I do not sell what I freely give. You may visit the link in the description below, or scan the code on your screen, but only if it is truly on your heart, and never from pressure or fear. For the one who keeps everything from a joyful heart pleases me every bit as much as the one who gives. And whether you give or you keep, the blessing over you today is exactly the same. So rise now, my child. Lift your head. The silence was never abandonment. It was preparation, and the preparation is nearly finished. The coldness of others was never a verdict on your worth, and you are free to forgive it and walk on unburdened. The pressure was never meant to crush you. It was making something in you shine, and the calling on your life has not moved an inch. So walk forward, not because you can see the whole path, but because I can, and I have already walked every step of it ahead of you. I am with you in every breath, every step, every decision, every door. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. You are chosen. If you believe it, type "I am rising" in your time, and go, my child, and rise. What I have begun in you, I will complete.